your chips now.
No, those are cough drops.
Okay, then. Let's see, going live. 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right. Welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. Today,
Okay, then.
it's like it still didn't pull up.
Let's see, going live.
There it is.
3, 2, 1. Go.
All right. Nice. Welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. Today, still didn't pull up.
It was live for a second there.
Yeah,
It's live for me.
Yeah, we're live right now. Yep, we're going.
It's looping back around your computer, Andrew.
So there's
Alright.
going to be a delay, Trey, so you don't need to look at the YouTube side. There's like a 30-second delay between us and the...
No, it's my headphones. I can hear the delay, so it's throwing me off. So I have to take it off real quick.
Okay.
So, sorry everybody. Let me try that again. Clear the throat. Welcome to the Advent 7 podcast. Today we're here to talk about an amazing show that just ended recently, Shokugeki no Soma, otherwise known as Food Wars. I'm your host today, the Cajun Master, Trey, and I'm joined by...
Andrew, the Bun Wizard.
And Braunsen, the clash bringing, slash bringing, the hash slinging slasher.
Frank, the griddle god. Frank, the griddle god.
And Drew, the Sububby specialist.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. All right, now before we dig in, we gotta first talk about plugs. Please remember to subscribe to Advent 7 for news and updates on all things anime, video games, and comics. Also remember to follow us on Twitter at Advent7_7. And of course, like and comment down below. Be with us in the chat, or if you're watching this after we've gone live, just comment what you're thinking about us. All right, with all that out of the way, let's dig in. And of course, this is a spoiler warning for all things Shokugeki related. So, to begin with, how did everyone here find Food Wars? First impressions. Let's get it cracking.
I blame Drew.
I blame you, Andrew.
So, yeah, I guess I might have been the first one that got into it. I actually read the manga. I wasn't there at the get-go when the first chapter was released, but I had a little stint where I was reading basically any and all popular manga on, I don't even remember what site it was now because it's that one's probably gone now. But I read Food Wars before the anime was even announced, and then I was telling Andrew about it, and then not long after that, then the anime was announced, and then it just all fell into place from there.
All hell broke loose after that.
You mean bliss?
No, honestly, bliss.
There's
So,
nothing
yeah.
warmer than a dumpster fire.
Hold up now. Hold up.
No.
But yeah, thanks to Drew, he told Andrew, and I was also, because I remember him bringing this up the summer I worked with Andrew and Drew at Andrew's mom's restaurant. And so I remember him talking about Food Wars as he was reading the manga and talking about, well, I just found out that there's going to be an anime adaptation of this manga that I just started. I'm like, huh, isn't this like a recurring thing for you?
Oh yeah, Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches? That's what this podcast is, right?
No, we're not doing that.
Next
Oh.
time. That's a great series. Deserves its own podcast.
It's like better luck next time. But yeah, so we found out, that's how I heard about the show, and then Andrew has pushed everyone who he has ever met to watch this show. And it's,
Not everybody.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Not
That's how it
everybody.
happened.
Just like a big group of people. Just like a classroom full of people. You know, that was just like, what,
That-
20, 30 people? That was not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was Andrew or Drew or both of them I remember being at Drew's house and he was talking about the manga, but I honestly can't remember who told me first.
I think it was probably both of us. And
Probably.
I think it's called dual cropping.
Who came first, the Andrew or the Drew?
They
All we
mostly
know.
double team.
All we know is that Food Wars happened and everybody was plagued with it. And it exploded into a phenomenon of foodgasms.
Oh yes.
So,
Many,
yes.
many foodgasms.
Just meat juices everywhere. Just
Meat
Someone
juices!
told me
That's all the squid.
Bruh, like everybody who you would show that first episode to somebody and they give you that look of I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not continuing. And you have to be like, okay, but hear me out for a second. Like you gotta
Like, I know
convince
it's
them.
bad.
You have to convince them to keep going with it.
Yeah, this was literally the conversation I had with Andrew. It looks bad now. It gets so much better after the first episode. Next episode, a girl gets tangled up in tentacles.
I mean, that's the first episode.
That was the
So
first
So it did get
episode.
better.
It did, yeah. I guess it did. Yeah.
It
also-
started
it
with
also-
tentacles.
What are you talking about? It started the best possible way ever. With tentacles.
If I could go
You
back
know something
and,
funny?
if I could go back and
Go ahead.
resell the show to somebody, I'd probably tell them, okay, so I know that was bad, but here's the thing about this series. It keeps one-upping itself. So
Oh, it super does.
you have to check out the next episode to see how they could possibly top this very first
How it just
episode.
escalates.
Oh, getting
Yeah.
drowned in honey. Oh, so much better.
Honestly, I mean, come on, the honey was so sweet. But
Ah.
yeah, the explanation for those of you who are watching this who haven't seen Food Wars, but you're just really interested to hear about this show that people are obviously talking about. Yes, that first episode is a doozy. It is like the absolute. It's not the maximum the show does, but it's like if you have a tolerance for things, this will break through that ceiling and be like, well, either you hate this or you're along for the ride.
I do really like the first episode because it sets up what you're gonna get from the entire show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
you're,
pretty
You're not
straightforward.
gonna. They're not gonna or like confuse you on anything.
Mm-hmm. What you see is what you get, pretty much.
Yeah.
They
Um,
lay it all on the table up front. Like, this is
So-
what I got. You're gonna love it. If
So
not,
I actually
I'm gonna
showed
make you
this
love it.
to one of my exes who didn't really watch a lot of anime. For some reason, I thought it would be a good show to show somebody, and they were like, "What the heck was that?"
like in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know, honestly. It was really
It was
just
a way.
like they were just incredulous. They were like, "I don't even know what to say." They didn't say they hated it.
They reacted in a way, and
Yeah,
that's
in a way.
There
all
was
that mattered.
definitely a way.
Have it in a way. Uptrickered.
Yeah, Bubgerkirk, have it in a way.
In a way. But yeah. So yeah, everyone's first impressions was it's extreme, but we kind of like it. I'm pretty sure I liked it when I first saw it, but I was just like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a hard sell for you, Trey.
It's like it was and it wasn't, because I was like, I really like the food design, and I was already primed from you guys telling me that the people who worked on making the manga were someone who first worked. It's like it was a combination of a chef working together with a doujinshi. It was just like,
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
so
Well, and
it's
that
like,
kind of leads me into what sold me on the show or on the series in the first place was the illustrations in the manga were just so detailed and crisp and just really beautiful. Even besides the obvious pinnacle scenes of foodgasming, just the character designs in general. When you would see a character even standing there with, as the Bun Wizard would put, nice perspectives.
Gotta love
It just
perspectives.
looked really nice to look at those panels because the art style was just so crisp. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really drew me overall. Even beyond just the ridiculous comedy was just how good it looked.
Yeah, like this series was a weekly publication in Shonen Jump. So
Yeah,
you
it was
were
kind of amazing that it was that good.
yeah, you were used to the art quality being, just average. Like like with Naruto for example, like art was good, but it didn't blow your pants off. This manga specifically blew your pants off.
Will literally blow your pants off.
Yeah, the quality's always been really good with the series. So, yeah, after I got into the anime, thanks to Drew, I went back and looked at the manga, and I was like, oh my god, he's right. So, after the first season ended, I was like, well, I want to catch up with the manga, but the art's so good, I have to do this justice by buying the physical copies. So, that's what I did. I waited and saved up my money and tried to buy physical copies instead of doing the smart thing, which was just read it online, because this is still a long-running manga series. Collecting all the volumes is no small feat when every volume is like $10. Yeah. It's not easy, especially back then, because like we were all still like much younger, and I was in college, so I didn't have that much money.
Yeah, I remember a Christmas the year we lived together. I got you at least 2 volumes. I can't remember. I think
you did. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I lost it when you gave those to me. I'm like, oh my god, this is a Shokugeki manga. I have up to volume 16 now, which isn't bad. I believe there's like around maybe 40 volumes or so, something like that. So I'm getting close to halfway. Yeah, I have a volume of the manga in my hands, by the way. Let's see. The art is by Shunseki, who, used to be a Dojin artist. The story is by Yuto Tsukuda, who used to be a chef, who I think, owned his own restaurant or something. And then they have a contributor listed on the credits of all the manga. This person's name is Yuki Morisaki, and apparently they are... there's someone who specializes in recipes. So that person's like a consultant for whenever they try to figure out new ways to make food. So it's interesting.
And they figure out some ways for sure.
They definitely...
I mean, once again, this show has like some of the best recipes I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like, all right.
There's been some recipes too that actually I didn't want to eat. To be honest, like they had to keep one-upping themselves throughout the series.
You didn't want to eat peanut butter squid? Come on.
Yeah.
I am
the worst thing in the world.
Not so bad about that. It's more like the ants that Rindo puts in like that food in the end of season 4 when they're going up against...
the amount of fucking cayenne peppers they put in both of their ramens.
Yeah, Rindo like actually ground up ants or something and put it like in the food. And I'm like, oh,
it was actually delicious.
I mean, that's
delicious.
Ants are an international delicacy, so I mean,
That's true.
Like, I've had free-dries crickets that you can get from Amazon. They're not bad.
Holy shit!
It just trying to get over that process in your head, like I'm eating a bug.
Yeah.
So I can see where they want to try to put those new stuff into it, and honestly, I've seen other people do crazier things too.
And
So
That was kind of Rindo's shtick anyway.
yeah.
This is a master chef preparing it. They can blend the flavor perfectly. You won't even know there's ants.
it's like as long as she doesn't tell you they're ants, it's fine.
Yeah, they're just raisins.
Raisins. Raisins, yes.
Yeah.
You know, that's almost worse.
Why is this raisin killing me with its antennae?
Why am I dressed in an ant suit now? What's going on?
Oh no!
Yeah,
now I'm
dude.
2% corn and 4% ant. Oh no!
So the characters will like eat the food and then they'll like imagine themselves dressed up as the food they're eating or something. Like the Prince of Apples when Megumi
God,
made that one dish about
Oh
apples.
my
Yes,
goodness!
this actually brings me to my next topic. Everyone's favorite moment from the series as a whole. So it could be any of these cut-in scenes where you see, like my favorite, because I just saw it in a review recently, the freaking Cabbage Sailor Scouts from season 1, when Megumi and Soma have to try and fight for Megumi's place to stay in the school. And when Shinomia gives his food, they turn into the Cabbage Scouts, and it's just Gin Dojima is the true beast. Cabbage
gosh.
Pink is
He's so
something
muscular.
to fear.
He's daddy.
Are you asking like our favorite like food related scene or scene in general?
I mean, scene in general, you can pick whatever. I just picked that one. This show has a lot of food moments, so.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. My
Yeah.
favorite scene was it's actually really closely related to yours. It was the moment that Soma challenged him to the Shokugeki to save her. That moment, and he was like, I challenge you to a Shokugeki. That was one of the biggest moments in the show where I was like, oh, this shit's getting real now. Because he just challenged this instructor who was like an ex first seat in his year or in his class of the whole school when he went there, and he's just like, I don't give any shits. I'm gonna challenge you right now, and I got goosebumps every time I looked at that, either that chapter when I read it or that moment in the anime when I watched it. That was one of my favorite scenes for sure.
Top tier scene.
Oh yeah.
Mine was during the final battle in the autumn festival when they had to pick their freshest fish. Mine was because Soma didn't have the experience like what's his name?
Hayama and Ro. Yeah. Hayama and Rio.
Yeah, Rio didn't. He doesn't have the experience like Rio working in fish, and he doesn't have the sense of smell like Hayame. But he learned from his dorm mates how to prepare it, and that idea of like working, that constant working he did was always one of my favorite parts of that.
Yeah, always bringing in the things that he learns from other people, either through losing to them or working with them together.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good embodiment of who Soma was as a chef and a person. So yeah, that was a really good moment too.
Especially when he lost it. Again, it drove him to better himself with that. So to me, that was always my favorite part. Is that one loss he had.
Yeah, that was pretty cool seeing him like
so much more.
Yeah, seeing him take the loss the way he did, like he was really pissed off. And that gave me goosebumps when I saw him react like that, because we were used to Soma winning almost every single time up until that point.
Yeah, that really was like his first major loss, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because like
didn't he lose to Shinomiya?
He did, but I mean
that was his first major loss, like officially.
Yeah, I guess that is true. That was a loss as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it kind of wasn't, because he.
Yeah, it was spiritually a victory because Shinomiya did give him his vote for the dish.
Right.
So like it was a spiritual victory, even though he did lose technically overall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like again, you think about it, he went against someone like his father. He constantly lost to him, so losing to him wasn't that big of a.
Well, story-wise, it was very impactful as a loss.
He did take it as a loss later after the scene was over. You saw him upset about it.
Right up front, they say, "Yeah, I lost to my dad like 500 times."
Yeah, and it's nothing.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't consider that story-wise an impactful loss.
Yeah, no. When he lost that match, he slammed his fist against a solid wall. He easily could have broke his hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did scuff up his hand after that.
Oh yeah, he had bandages, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Impactful.
Well, let's see. My favorite scene overall in the 5 seasons we got of this fantastic show, I'd say my favorite scene was when Sarge used a chainsaw to make a cake.
Oh my god. You as death simp. I knew it was going to be something with Sarge.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but as soon as I saw Sarge, I'm like, boom. All right, I'm a fan. Gotta hand it to Sarge. I like the aesthetic.
Andrew just wants the death.
I always thought I'd be an Akame guy, but I became an Esdeath man instead.
Andrew, respect. Right there.
But like, if I had to say my favorite scene,
Big Bro is obviously the best girl.
The thing about Sarge and the chainsaw is that it might have been the most ludicrous thing that happened nearly all 5 seasons. Like the thing about season 5 is that it really stepped up the game. Like things got really crazy out there. But I don't think I would have predicted that they were going to have someone use a chainsaw to season
sledgehammer.
meat or
And
a sledgehammer. Like,
And a freaking TNT detonation.
she literally detonates the oven, and after the oven actually explodes, there's just a really nice cake on a plate. A perfect cake that's just sitting there on the table, and it's like, dude, I don't think that's how this works anymore.
Yeah, Blue definitely just they saw what they did with the rest of the series, and they're like, we can do better, and they just went over the top with the ridiculously of it.
Season 5, they doubled down on the the anime over exaggeration of things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Imagine being the editor for the manga.
In the best way possible.
Imagine being the editors for Shokugeki, and the authors bring this to you, and you're like, so you're telling me that you're going to have this woman use a chainsaw? Yes. To make a cake. Yep, that's about right.
Probably laughing so hard that,
Yeah, I think by that point the editor was probably like, "Oh, I was waiting for when this would happen."
Right.
Editor's like, man,
you used a chainsaw 100 chapters ago. What?
Well, I see that you have the woman holding the chainsaw wearing this super sexy military outfit, so go ahead.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Point.
You son of a bitch.
Point.
My man.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
So
Braunsen, what was your favorite moment? I don't think we got yours yet.
No, we haven't. Honestly, it's really hard for me to boil it down to a single scene, and I don't recall the first couple seasons too heavily. It's been forever since I've actually seen them.
Valid.
But one scene that really sticks out in my head, I guess, from the earlier seasons is when I believe it's when Soma is in the big grand hotel's bathing area and
Dojima.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just freaking glorious.
Once again, Gin Dojima is a boss.
That might be the hardest I've ever laughed at the show, is that scene.
And that was one of the moments where it looked good in the anime, but if you guys never read the manga, if you look at that scene in the manga, like when I first saw that scene, I was just blown away with how much detail was on that man's body. And like I said, in the anime, there's detail for sure, but the manga
there is some loss when it's animated, crazy. For sure.
Yeah, they gave him muscles. They gave him muscles upon muscles.
Dude, I feel like there were new muscles invented for this man.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
I get similar things with the One Punch Man manga.
Yeah, that's exactly the joke I heard someone make was like, One Punch Man?
He does look like Saitama, just with hair when he's got his shirt off. He's got them like angled eyes.
No, he's much bulkier.
He's definitely bulkier, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe if Saitama stepped it up to 200 push-ups a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could get on.
Saitama's slacking, guys.
He could get on Gin Dojima's level.
Yeah, dude. Saitama's slacking.
Yeah, you gotta bench press a bunch of like cooking pans and pots.
Oh yeah. Break those cooking limits.
Oh yeah. So diverting to the next topic, it's in the same vein, but now it's your favorite dish. If you can remember a dish from this show that you're like, oh god, yes, this was the dish. For me, I have to say, what was it? It's actually really hard. The show has so much food.
I mean, yeah, and like food like what you crave for a food changes, daily. So it's kind of hard to pin it down.
Yeah, but I think my favorite dish that came out of this show, it's not my absolute favorite, but it's one of my favorites, was the chicken wing gyoza that Soma made in his rigged battle against Aizen, or Aizen, to not confuse him with a Bleach character.
What's the same character?
They look the fucking same.
No, they don't.
Just one fights with money, the other one fights with absolute power. Just
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
same thing.
yeah,
exactly.
basically. Yeah.
It's that, or it's gonna be Soma's countdown meatball special from his
Ooh.
battle with Kuga.
Ooh, from the Moon Festival. Yeah.
Yeah, the Autumn Moon
that
Festival,
one
which
was
was like
good.
my second favorite arc in the entire series.
Yeah.
Second or third.
That was a lot of
It's up
fun.
there.
That one was a really good arc for sure.
Yeah. Did he put like curry inside the meatball?
Yes, he did. He created a curry gelatin thing that he hid inside the meatball, and as soon as it was exposed to the ramen broth, it melted into it, and it was just like, the moon is coming out.
That's so weird. Gosh, I don't know what I'd do if someone handed me a bowl of that. I'd be like, I don't think I can even eat this. Like
The
it's
freaking
too good to
React
eat.
channel.
too gorgeous.
It's too heavenly.
The React
Too
channel
divine.
did this. They did like 2 different episodes where they they did a try not to eat challenge related to Shokugeki.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
no.
And one of them the prize was to get the actual ramen meatball bowl.
Ooh.
That's a worthy prize, but depending on the foods, I don't know if I would have made it because some of them are just so good.
I know.
I'm
but
not gonna lie, that meatball one is probably my favorite like dish, but I have a different one for what my favorite one overall is.
Mm.
Go ahead.
It's not the first dish, but it's the first one I feel that has the most meaning. It was the egg dish, the entry dish that
Oh,
Soma
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Transforming
Yeah,
Furikake
Transforming
rice.
rice.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it's a simple dish. It's not like it's super glamorous, but the meaning behind it and like that was when it was really first starting to show the importance of the
Not
like finding someone you want to cook for and make them say it tastes good. That whole message that has been the like under arc of the entire series, and of course the basis of the Soma Erina ship, of course. But then having Senzaemon come in and taste it and give him the passing grade to get in, and I just love that dish for what it meant and how it felt when it was first starting the series off. Because after the first episode with that bacon wrapped potato roast
The
dish,
gotcha
Gotcha
roast.
pork roast.
it was like, that's pretty cool. And then the peanut butter squid, but then that dish where it was also something simple, but it just elevated to such a high plot point level that it really hit me. But for what I want to eat for the most or the most out of any dishes, it's going to be that Moon Festival meatball one, because that one just oh my goodness, that was so good.
The Furikake rice is definitely very symbolic.
Yeah,
And you're right. They call back to that dish like many times throughout the series, up until the point where when Erina and Soma have to go up against Rindo and Tsukasa in the end of season 4, Soma makes that caveman roast, which I'm really close to saying that's the dish I want to be my favorite, that I'd really love to try, because it's just a massive roast and it's got all the juices and sauces that just explode in your mouth.
Soma,
wrapped
the
around
king
a
of
giant bone,
stuffing
yeah.
shit into other shit.
Yeah, right? That's Soma's specialty. It's just like cramming things together. But then Erina follows up on him with this weird kind of like chicken, this like sliced chicken dish of some sort, and it's got like sauce and stuff on it, and it's got an egg on the side, and she calls it a chicken egg rice bowl, and it's just like, what? That's not a bowl though. But she goes into this like whole like bullshit explanation about how it actually it's got like rice ingredients inside the meat or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember, but she justifies it. And she calls back to Soma's Furikake rice, being like, this was the inspiration. So
That
was
and
really
peanut
cool.
butter squid.
And peanut butter squid. She threw that in there too. Man, they were meant to be together, weren't they?
Yeah, so and this is kind of a tangent, but it was almost like that could have been an end to the series there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
with just a little bit of wrap up that could have been the end, but then I guess the author had some extra stuff they wanted to throw in. There were also some things they definitely hadn't touched on yet until the 5th season as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they did, but
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely felt like a moment where it was like, you know, even though she won still against, I say won in quotation marks because they weren't facing each other technically, but she won that competition that they had on the side between each other. It still would have been a nice end, just going from there and tying it up.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
after that season, at the very end, they revealed that the whole main cast, they become the new Elite 10.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, like
and Erina, she becomes the headmaster of the school somehow. So that could have been a wrap up to the series. That would you call season 4 our fight Aizen arc of Shokugeki?
I call
Oh,
it a
man.
pain arc.
I don't know if I would compare it quite as much to that because I actually still enjoyed the season after.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Yeah, that's fair.
I
It's
did
hard to
not
say.
enjoy the Fullbringer arc, but that's a whole other topic.
It's a
Yeah.
whole other.
Just wait for the
Can
1,000-year
of
blood
worms.
arc when they end it, because it's coming.
Yeah, I read the manga and it's also disappointing. Spoilers.
I read that too. Oh no.
Dude, that just means that it can't go anywhere but up. Only up at Edco.
No, they found a new shovel. They kept digging down.
It's
All right.
easier to just
Kept digging, just constant. Oh.
it's easier to just
All right,
dig
Frank,
downwards.
what do you say about your favorite dish?
Wait, who?
I would have to say mine would have been the egg souffle.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
This
That
simple
did look
egg
good.
souffle that he had to produce in like 20 minutes for 200 people.
Yeah. That one was also pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And,
The train camp from hell was fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that entire arc was fun. I enjoyed that arc a lot. But the egg souffle to me was much more. To me, it's more was much more appealing. 'Cause I did like the egg bowl, but I truly like eggs, so I like omelets as well. So the way he prepared it also grabbed me like, ooh, clapping, monkey brain, and everything else when he saw him flip those eggs.
got that monkey brain going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was just a really hype moment too because he had to make so many of them in such a small amount of time that not even just the viewers in like us watching the show, but everyone in the show, all of their eyes were drawn to Soma and his table because it was just a spectacle. Seeing this guy, also like this nobody basically in their eyes, and well, the only thing they know about him is that they hate him from the entrance ceremony, but he's just destroying the place. Like he is just like slaughtering the competition by having all of these souffles come out in no time at all. It was just a hype moment to watch, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Definitely.
fact that he was at a disadvantage being next to Erina with her eggs Benedict just so perfectly.
Oh
looking.
yeah,
Yeah. The eggs Benedict that looked like jewels.
Yeah.
they were shining like jewels. It's like,
Indeed.
bruh. Yeah, he got put in a very unique situation where it was like the ultimate challenge for Soma at the time.
Well,
The
Also, the
dynamic,
fact that he- Yeah.
the dynamic of the environment of doing a buffet style like breakfast thing, he wasn't used to that. He was used to people eating the food as soon as he handed it off. So after he made that very critical mistake, he made up for it in no time at all and barely skated by with the 200 he needed to pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really cool moment, and he put on the live cooking show too. You know, he got everybody to show up because he was putting on a physical show the way he cooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. It's like
Mm.
he realized, like, okay, if I do this, I need to get someone. Little girl, come here. Come here. I got a magic trick for you.
Uh-oh.
I always try to say that. I said
don't
it
worry,
before.
there's no squid involved.
No. Okay, we're steering away. Who else hasn't gone yet? I don't think I got to
Braunsen.
say my dish yet. My favorite dish, I thought it was going to be the caveman roast, but actually I think the one I want to try the most that I think looks really cool is the Yakisoba that the new Elite 10 makes in the first episode of season 5.
Ooh, yeah,
During
that's
the
a good
beach
one.
episode. Yeah, because it just looked really tasty. And they had a bunch of Cajun peppers in there. They had shrimp in there. Like all the different Elite 10 members, they pooled their creative talents together into one cohesive dish, which just symbolized this incredible amount of teamwork. And it looked really damn tasty. Like, I'd want to try eating that if I was out on the beach during the summer for, vacation or something.
Definitely.
It's like, it was great. It was real great. It's like they flavor injected an egg.
Dude, they took a syringe to the egg yolk. They injected it directly with whatever spices that Soma stole from Hayama. That was insane. So,
what about you, Braunsen?
All right. My dish isn't really symbolic, but I fucking love cake. So
Cake.
the cake that Soma made with the firecrackers.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say the cake
Like-
that Sarge made.
No.
I mean,
No,
I don't
that-
care if the cake tastes like crap. She blew it up with a freaking oven, and it came out perfectly.
true.
That's
I'm
all I
thinking
need.
it's gonna be delicious.
Can I go
would
back
love
and
to
change
try
my answer?
Explosion cake.
I want to change my answer.
But
Bun whisker.
if I were to go with my favorite symbolic dish, it would probably be also the rice he made Erina in the beginning, or even more so the final rice dish he made in the last episode. If only because it like links back to his mother and the original dish. Like it's kind of like the perfect climax wrap up conclusion dish in my eyes.
I mean, it destroyed a building. Yes, it was.
Yes, yeah, I mean that too.
Dude, so
Somehow I forgot about that.
Kyle's in the chat right now, and he said, "I'm impressed you guys remember these specific details from the food in the show. Did y'all watch it recently?"
Not really, actually.
No,
A lot of
the
these are-
only series or season I watched recently was the latest one, and I haven't even watched all of them because I read the manga so recently that I was like, if I miss a few, I don't care.
Yeah. I wrote that like, no, the foodgasms just made a really big impact on us.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
Like-
important.
The gifting, we all got the gifting.
The gifting. Oh, disrobing.
I will say that season 3, I don't remember like any dishes from.
Season
But
3.
That might just be how long ago it was I watched it.
Season 3 was it involved the Totsuki train arc, so
Yes, so
that was mostly training on their part. I don't
Yeah.
remember too much from their dish-wise.
That arc honestly just felt very rushed, but that's just personal opinion.
It
That's
did
kind of
seem
the
like
thing
that when
that
I
I-
watched it too. Like you said, I can't remember most of it from either. Like the only thing I remember was the bear meat dish.
yeah, that was.
Oh yeah,
that was
that's
hype.
right. They
That
did
was
that.
true hype right there.
Yeah,
Watching that
and-
fight.
That was
Go ahead.
Hayama versus Soma, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty cool battle. And as soon as Soma beats Hayama, he joins them and leaves. What was the name of the new institution they were
That's
putting together?
Central.
Central.
Damn, that's
Central.
right.
Yeah, Central.
Yeah, he leaves Central and joins them. And they do the typical shonen trope of, hey, you were a villain, but now we're friends because we beat you.
Well, it
I
wasn't
mean,
even that.
Hayama had lost his path. I feel like it's fine with him. Because
Yeah,
he was
wasn't
originally
bad.
on the like better side.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was almost like in the middle, kind of his own thing. He not sure where he
Yeah.
stands. So I think
wasn't necessarily
that
a
was
friend,
actually
But yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely wasn't like one of the Elite 10 that were already kind of like that were
yeah,
ready
so
to.
I feel like he just kind of lost his path a little, just trying to find himself, and that fight really is what brought him back.
Yeah. So season 3 was an interesting one. As Andrew has pointed out multiple times whenever we talk about Food Wars, he was concerned about what was going to happen with Shokugeki because season 2 ended in September of 2016, but season 3 didn't start until October the next year. So it was technically more than a year, but it was like still within 13 months of each other. So I think there was the two things that happened is that the licensing switched from Sentai Filmworks to Crunchyroll. And I think this is also just the time where they were picking up and changing how seasonal episodes were coming out. So instead of it coming out in September, it would come out in October, like how this new season of anime is starting right now, like last week and this week.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that was a nice birthday gift.
Well, that's right. Your birthdays are coming up soon, or it's past.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, it's just a couple days.
Oh man, so we don't have a lot of time to make a dish that'll blow your pants off. Quick,
I
guys,
know.
let's all go to like
Or
different fast food
Soma,
restaurants
quick.
and just merge them together like Soma did at the end of season 5. We'll create a new dish
Yeah,
that
just-
the world's never seen.
Just cook them and then throw them in the same pan. Like, that's how you do it.
Now,
That's the best way.
like it'll be a dish that should never have existed and will probably open up like a portal to another dimension, but we will have invented
Regular
something
show?
new.
Will it be the tentacle dimension? Are we doing this? We're
Oh,
bringing you
yes,
peanut
please.
butter squid now. That's what we're doing.
Hey man, when you toss like McDonald's nuggets and like a Burger King Whopper and Arby's chicken into like the same pan, and you douse it with like Taco Bell meat and stuff, like
Oh, and then you roll it up in a Pizza Hut pizza.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Ooh.
So you're making something
That-
truly like evil, right there.
Oh God,
You mean
That sounds
delicious.
like I want to try it.
I know, right? Doesn't it sound pretty good?
This is like your last supper.
If it's an
Oh,
evil dish, I am
Don't worry, it'll be still
100% evil.
It'll be more evil than those Taco Bell tacos we made last Saturday.
No, the tacos were fine. It was the alcohol that was a little spicy.
Like, yeah, I will protect my
Spicy
tacos.
water.
All right.
What was that?
He said spicy water.
Yeah, spicy water.
Ugh. Ugh.
Why is the silly juice so weird?
Just like the rice juice. It was just rice juice. We promise. It was just rice juice.
We promise.
So let's see. What's next on the docket?
All right, on the docket, it's kind of a two-hitter. We could take this one of two ways. I have on this list favorite character, but I also have right below it who is best girl, who is best boy, and who's your waifu. So blend that all together.
You just want to start a war now, don't you?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're
these
trying
are-
to
Light
incite.
up.
You're trying to incite anger. Well,
I need the comment section to get just burn. I need the comment section to be like, no, you're wrong.
I haven't even started drinking yet, so this will be fun. All right. Well, who wants to go first then?
I need time to collect my thoughts on this.
Okay,
All right.
say it again, Trey. What were the 3 categories?
All right, so like the big question was who's your favorite character, but then I decided to go into the hellscape of saying best girl, best boy, and your waifu.
Okay,
Once again-
I like how best girl and your waifu are different because
Yeah.
that's actually important. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would make a distinction between the two because I am trash.
Of course, aren't we all? It's fine. We've all watched Trash Taste.
So yeah, like I will start off. I'm gonna
and
say
the VTubers.
I haven't started
So-
watching VTubers yet, but I will soon.
it's like yeah, just start with Project Melody. It'll be fine.
Gonna be one of those Kizuna eye followers.
No, I don't believe you, Andrew.
Close my
I-chan.
keys and I stream.
What?
Oh, so I'm closing my keys and I stream right now. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start us off. My favorite character is like in general. My favorite character is probably Hayama. I think I like his cooking style. The fact that he's got super scent. Just
That is pretty cool.
the spice master is in the house, and I'm a sucker for white hair.
Aren't we all?
White hair, tan skin.
Mhm.
What is that? The
But,
Wombo combo?
kind of a wombo combo.
Might be
But,
a wombo combo.
But let me think. Best girl. Best girl. It's got to go to Megumi. It's got to go to Megumi.
Oh, bruh.
She
I
honestly,
can respect that.
it's got to go. It's like she's best girl. She's just pure and innocent, and I would do anything for her. Best boy is Gin Dojima or Senzaemon. One of those two is best boy. I don't know who, but
It's a
also
hard
respect that a lot.
it's a hard toss up. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, it's got to be one of those two. I just can't decide. Can't decide.
and my waifu is probably Nikumi. Meet for the win.
Yeah.
And yes, in case anyone who has not
fair.
seen the dub, which is I think the dub is available both on Hulu and I think Netflix, but I haven't watched Food Wars on Netflix. But when I watched the dub on Toonami, they call her nickname is Meat Meat. So
Meat.
It comes off kind of awkward when they have to say it that
Gee,
way,
wonder
but
why.
at the same time, it's very fitting.
or as Soma calls her, Sweet Meat.
Ooh, oh man, that's even better.
Delicious.
I think I'm gonna go. Best boy has to be the grandpa. You know, the head master
Senzaemon.
school. Yeah, Senzaemon. Is that his
It's
name?
like his 4D chess play at the end that reveals that this whole show was just his plan.
That's why, because he actually set up most of the events of the whole series to play out. I don't know what you even call that moment. There's got to be like a TV tropes name for that.
Aizen?
He Aizened us. He freaking Aizened us. He's like, yeah, no, I specifically went out and recruited each of the individual Generation of Miracles students and got them all to come to the school simply so they could surround Erina and provide her what she needed to be her own person and to have like a more diverse culinary background, essentially. And he predicted that they would have to save the world of cooking by going up against both of her parents. It's
Jeez.
And it's like he basically predicted that that Joichiro's kid was going to be the one to end up with his granddaughter. Like he was like, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen. I can see it happening, and he just made sure it happened.
yeah.
I mean, you know, as official as it is or isn't.
It blew my mind. I think I was just dumbfounded when I saw that. It still hurts my brain a little bit to think about it, that he just planned everything. But why not,
I mean,
right?
It really was impressive, though.
But I still need a hot minute to think about who my best girl and waifu character is, because that's
We
extremely
know who your
tough.
waifu is. It's Sarge.
Well, okay, never mind. It's not that hard. I think I came up with. I think I have my answer now. Okay, it's Okay, Sarge is my
Sarge for
waifu.
both.
Sarge is my
And best
waifu,
girl.
and I mean, she just has that long, slender chainsaw. What can I say? It's pretty. It's pretty elegant.
Oh my goodness.
The way that she like anoints each of the sharp tips of her chainsaw blade with different spices. Like, sure. That works.
Sure.
Why not?
What else can that chainsaw do?
You don't want to know.
But
Oh,
best
goodness,
girl,
That's kind of a scary thought.
best girl, I'd have to hand that off to Erina. You know, probably because it's not really fair. There's plenty of characters in this show that are great, but Erina had the most airtime among any of the female characters, and she had the most background, so you know, it's kind of hard for me to not pick her simply because she has the most development.
And also
almost
because,
second
as much as you don't
protagonist.
want to admit it, you do love tsunderes.
I will never admit that, actually. That's something I will take to my grave. So
Yeah,
you
but
can accuse
the
me
truth.
all you want. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna admit to it.
Doesn't matter. We
All right,
know
now
the
that you
truth.
made
It doesn't
him
matter.
cry, Drew, what's your answers?
All right, so best boy is pretty easy for me, actually. Like, that's been constant from the get-go. That's going to be Ishiki. I
Yeah.
love that man. I love Naked Apron Man. He is just so good. And Senzaemon is a close second, for sure. I love the grandpa, but Ishiki is just so good to me. The moment he was introduced, I was like, yes, I need more of those butt cheeks on the screen.
Yes.
But the hard part for me was definitely my waifu and best girl, and it actually changed a few times throughout the series. And I would say that for the longest time, it might even be both best girl and waifu would have been Hisako for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
But she lost so much airtime compared to other people. This is kind of similar to what Andrew was saying with Erina, where it was just like not having them be relevant made it hard for me to remember why I was so enamored and why
Why were you so
I
interested?
should still care.
Was that the assistant?
That's the
to
assistant.
Erina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the secretary.
She
Yeah,
stopped.
so
she stopped
First two
being-
seasons, she was great.
Mhm. Yeah, she stopped being relevant after like what? After the train arc?
Basically.
No,
She stopped being relevant after the second season.
yeah.
Yeah, I
after
don't think she was even really relevant for the train arc. She was kind of there, but not like
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, but not
I think
really
it was.
there.
I think it was kind of after the one where they had to go out into the field.
Yeah, when
The
Soma
training
and her
arc,
were
yeah.
training together, I think that was her last major relevance.
Yeah, the
She-
stage arc.
She hadn't fully disappeared. Yeah, exactly. Yep. But like it just kind of dwindled away until she became one of the cheerleaders in the background for the main characters at the end. You know.
Yeah.
But so like that would be who if you asked me that at the beginning of the series, it would have been her hands down for both. But now I would have to say that my best girl is probably Rindo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Your
it-
agent of
it's
chaos.
a little hard for me to still say that too because after the fourth season, of course, her relevance was almost completely gone. But it was close enough to the end that I still remembered. And yeah, I love me some crazy girls. But waifu, it's gonna have to be Erina. And you know, I hate to admit it because it's almost like I'm kind of hipster about it, where I don't want to be like, yes, the main girl is my waifu.
Yeah.
It almost is kind of like that. But and honestly, at the beginning of the series, it was like the opposite. I would have been like, I hate Erina. She's awful.
Yeah.
She has like no redeeming traits, and the only good part about her, besides her look, is that she is a tsundere, and like that was like the only redeeming quality. And that's only a little bit of a redeeming quality. That's only so good. You can only go so far with that being the personality trait. But as she was developed, and Andrew already kind of talked about this, that's when I really started seeing why I should like her. And then the series finally convinced me that that's who I want as my waifu from the series. But I will give Megumi a nice runner-up badge. She was always there for Soma and definitely deserves some love. But she didn't make the cut for my waifu or best girl. Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, just count yourself lucky you didn't watch the dub of Food Wars.
Oh, she had the Valley Girl voice.
She had
Dude,
the
are you
Valley Girl
serious?
voice.
Dead
Yes, they gave
serious.
her- Dead serious. They gave her a Valley Girl voice, and
Oh.
it's so bad.
It seems
No, I
so
know, I
off.
specifically didn't watch the dub because of that. Like I heard about it and I was like, wait, what do you mean? It can't be that bad. And then I watched one episode and I was like, no, back to the stuff I go.
Because it doesn't line up with her personality, right?
No,
You know,
not at all.
she's supposed to be regal, and you know, kind of like at that level above everybody else. Like she's
Yeah,
extra
like
fancy.
true tsundere talking down.
That's
to
American
everybody.
Regal though. I'm just kidding.
Oh, oh. Yeah, it just was a direction that didn't feel like it matched with the character. So yeah, that turned me off immediately, and I stuck through it. I got used to it, but not because I wanted to, just because I wanted to support the dub in general, and like I wanted to tune in on Toonami nights. But yeah, the dub makes some interesting choices.
So Frank, talk to me. What you got?
Oh shit.
Too many to choose from.
You
Just
said
say
all
Sarge.
the good ones. You said all the good ones. I'm sitting there going,
It's
You
okay.
have three
Just,
peaks.
I know.
just join
Um,
Club Sarge.
No, get out of here, Andrew.
Okay, what was the the things
Favorite
again.
character overall, and then best boy, best girl, and waifu.
Okay. I think the favorite character overall would have been how you pronounce his name? Shimanoya? The French one.
Shinomia.
Yeah, Shinomia. Yeah, him.
Shinomiya senpai,
Like
yes.
pink hair.
He cares so much about like what he wanted to do with his
He
life.
shoujo trained Megumi. He had a
Yeah.
redemption arc.
Yeah,
I almost
again,
feel like I have to change my best boy now, honestly.
yeah.
He was really good.
Again, he comes in the first time you meet him as this like top, like you think he's an asshole. Like first time you think of
And he
like
kinda is.
yeah, he kind of is a little bit. Was it kind of like Gordon Ramsay?
Yes.
I've seen Gordon Ramsay being an asshole all the time sometimes, and then you see other videos of him being the kindest person to
He's
people.
so nice to kids, but he's a
Yeah.
dick to anybody who's supposed to be working for him.
Yeah, but like again, to me, it seems exactly like him. Like this character was made specifically on the idea of Gordon Ramsay.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
So like, Shimanoya is like my top one of my people because again, he was always my favorite. It's like he comes in as this asshole man, like nope, you're out, immediately gone. But then, as you go forward, you realize, oh, he has so much he cares for at this point, and why he does it as he does it.
He's pretty much good Erina's father.
That's not a bad
Description, yeah.
comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's also the one that trains Megumi during the train arc.
Yep.
Yeah.
And gets
They
her up to speed.
They have a shoujo montage.
Which was
Yes,
one
Coach.
of my favorite scenes from the series, to be honest. That was so funny when it happened. It was like, yes.
Yeah, I that was a pairing I didn't expect to see. I didn't expect him to show up and care about Megumi, but he did. And it was great, you know, like he was integral to her growth. And I think after they fought the Elite 10 and took down Central, that training that Megumi had with Shinomiya kind of led her on her own path that they don't get to explore a whole lot in anime due to pacing issues.
Yeah.
But
We'll
in
get
the
to that.
manga, in the manga, according to Drew, Megumi gets to do her own stuff for a little bit, and she has a few of her own matches with other people that, you know, relies on her being confident enough in order to take those people down. And I think without Shinomiya's influence, she wouldn't have had that same confident approach.
And I think, to be fair, and this is obviously going to be influenced because of how main characters work, but Soma also did definitely have an impact on her confidence level as well.
Yeah.
Just
definitely.
seeing him as like an example to live by, you know, seeing somebody who, even if they get beaten down, they always get back up. And I think that definitely inspired her as well. So I think that combination, especially since Shinomiya and Soma had so much together, that having both of them around Megumi definitely just enhanced that exposure for sure.
It leads
Definitely.
to Megumi being the winner of the blue preliminaries.
It's just like,
yeah.
wow.
Holy crap.
She took the entire thing. It was like, my girl. My girl.
I knew that she was going to be in the blue tournament because she's one of the top main characters. I didn't think she'd beat Aldini and Soma. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah, that is
impressive.
definitely.
Yeah, it's our girl Megumi, you know, she's aiming for
And
the top.
that definitely kind of fits with her theme of, you know, not being out there, but definitely being overly talented,
Yes, definitely
Yeah.
underrated and under.
appreciated.
She's a sleeper, man.
That's not even quite like a sleeper. Not even underappreciated, but like under like noticed. You know, like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even.
yeah.
It's not even that they even notice her. They just she's just kind of there as a wallflower, and then
In the
blooms
Smash
beautifully
community,
when they're not even looking.
in the Smash community, we had
Oh god.
there was a term for someone who wasn't like in the top 10 of the region, but they were incredible players, and it's like secret boss.
Oh,
It's
yes,
kind of like the secret boss of this show.
Okay.
fair enough.
It's not bad. The second you mentioned Smash Community, I'm like, oh no. Where's it going with
Really
this?
Don't worry,
toxic.
don't worry.
How toxic is this about to get?
All right, Frank.
most
Any other
toxic.
any other answers? We kind of steamrolled you.
Yeah, no problem. I would have to say the best boy for me was Isami Adini. the
Nice.
chunky brother.
Oh,
Nice.
bro,
He's
yeah.
He's only chunky half the
Chunky
time.
brother.
Yeah, dude, he
Yeah.
gets so anorexically skinny at certain parts and then just boom, like a balloon, man. That can't be healthy.
Oh god, it can't be healthy. No, but you could also put in the entire Polo dorm. Like this, the whole cheerleading group they have was always my favorite though.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Polestar is a great group. They're there and they're just like, we love these guys. Their specialties are always really cool.
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
Polar
And
Star
then
without the
they're
grandma.
useless past season 3.
The grandma is the most important part of Polar Star.
Fumio.
And the story of how she lost her virginity.
We'll never
Oh,
forget
God.
that. We will
My-
never.
Here's the thing. I didn't actually word it that way. I can't take credit for that phrase. Somebody else said it to me, and I'm like, oh, God. That is what happened, isn't it? Like,
I mean, it's kind of obvious, but
I just did not make the connection. I just thought it was another one of those visual metaphors, and then this person said to me, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no.
yes.
That is what happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
a mackerel burger took her all the way back.
I don't think
But
I'd
yeah,
want to
that-
try the mackerel burger. I don't think I could handle a fish burger, no matter how well he grilled it. It sounds great.
That actually sounds pretty good now. Oh,
Apparently,
Any other
I
answers?
mean, yes, I'm hungry. Just hearing all this food makes me hungry.
we're talking about food, and
I
yeah,
know.
it's
That's why I
late at
made
night.
sure right before we started this.
Dude, Frank, you're gonna have to go eat at Burger King or McDonald's if you want to get food right now.
Taco Bell.
that
Don't
that
make him sad.
that
Get them
yelp
all.
of disappointment.
Get them
Yeah.
all and just mash them together.
This is why
And then roll it up in a pizza and let me know how it is.
oh, and one just unholy concoction. The fast food pizza burrito.
Yeah, but like the
The fast food car bomb.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's actually a perfect name. Yeah, dude,
God.
Frank, this is why we call you the griddle god. because those are your only options.
anyways, but yeah, again, it was either him or Subaru, the copy chef.
Nice.
Yeah, Mimazaki.
Yeah.
I definitely thought about talking about him, but yeah, he just didn't quite make my cut. But he's really cool.
He was
Yeah. I
close,
respect that.
but he was only relevant for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like he would pop up every now and again, and it's always so much fun to see him.
I
That's
actually
He was
so
relevant in
crazy.
season 4, though.
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he-
was in
dude,
season one.
Yeah,
he was
one of the,
in
like,
that.
team Shokugeki.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah, he was in the competition.
He just lost it. He just lost his match. We expected him to lose his match, but it was like
Right.
super close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was impressive that he got that close with somebody, ranked that high in the Elite 10.
Mm-hmm.
Was he one of the Elite 10 in the
No.
season
No,
5?
he was part of the rebel group. He was part of the
He
rebel
j-
group.
He chose not to take the spot because he didn't think he was ready to surpass Aizen yet, so he just kept training.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I couldn't remember.
He was an interesting character. When did they introduce Mimasako? Was that during second season?
Season 2, his trollery during the what was the tournament arc called again?
It
was,
fall
autumn elections?
Fall.
The autumn elections.
The autumn
Yeah,
elections.
Whatever.
The autumn elections. He took down Aldini and then he trolled Soma, and it was just like, this man is a true villain, but he's gonna do some great things.
Yeah.
Again,
And in
a
true
favorite joke
shonen fashion, he became a good guy, just like
Yeah, every damn time. And it's like, okay, he's not the villain anymore. Let's be friends.
Didn't he have like a motorcycle too?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, dude, he was such a cool character. Just when he was introduced, I was like, oh my, this is gonna be just really cool.
The
Again,
way
one of my favorite cutaways with him is him going back to Soma's restaurant and training to
Oh my
become like
god!
and just
Oh, yeah.
his friends walking in going, "Who the hell are you?"
yeah, it's really weird.
that was great. That was
That
great.
was
forgot
so
about that.
funny.
Yeah, dude. I'll never forget how his pupils just disappear sometimes.
Oh yeah,
He's a
He's
national
definitely-
treasure, isn't he?
Yeah.
he's
he
my
definitely
national treasure.
fits with the over the top like aesthetics of the show. He's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
an embodiment of that.
Like Like he would wear like the clothes of the people he was copying.
His
I
copy style.
respected how
Good
he
lord.
Perfect trace.
Dude,
Perfect
perfect trace.
Perfect trace. God.
Still a great
that's
name. Yeah.
But yeah,
no, that
that was
cool.
that he was up for it. But I always liked Asami over him though. That was my favorite. The other brother.
Yeah,
Not
he's
much
cool,
screen
dude.
time, but he was always there, and I always liked that.
Can we talk about when Asami was supposed to show up to help Takumi in season 5, and he didn't show up because the person Takumi was going up against like hired thugs to literally kidnap his brother and tie him up in a warehouse?
Yeah,
They
dude, that was so
misdirected
messed
him,
up.
and then they tied him up.
That was the exact moment where watching the 5th season, I'm like, okay, this show's changed. This is different now. Like, this isn't just like metaphorical, like fighting people with food. Like, you literally kidnap somebody and put them in a warehouse, and I'm afraid of what you're gonna do to this guy.
Well, I mean, that's what happened when they introduced actual villains. Like,
God, they were fighting
actual
criminals.
bad guys.
They were fighting
They were-
cooks who lived in the underworld.
They were fighting Team
Noir.
Rocket, guys. Team Rocket.
Oh, I never made that connection, but holy shit.
It's like I wouldn't call it that, but all right.
No, like actual gangster Team Rocket, not Jesse James and Meow, like the actual Team
Like,
Rocket
no,
in the
like
game.
Giovanni Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Or what the heck were those two guys' names? Butchie, Cassidy and Butch?
Yes, Cassidy and Botch.
They fought the Cassidy and Butch of Team Rocket. Yeah, like that old guy in the first challenge who nearly pulls an actual pistol on Soma and prepares to shoot Soma point blank because his dish might not be good enough.
No, the second gun was to kill himself. The actual gun was for himself, not for the contestant.
But he does make a comment about, boy, you better be sure about this food you're giving me because you don't want to know the other gun that I have. You don't want to know about the other gun I have in my pocket or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm pretty sure he alluded to the other gun somehow. I don't know. You can.
Maybe.
You can
I don't remember.
you can fact check me on that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Storytelling.
Maybe though.
too.
Who knows?
It's a distinct possibility because the man was totally willing to die that day.
Man was
He didn't know
tripping.
who-
He was tripping.
Back on the Team Rocket thing for just a second. Also, something I realized is that Asahi also at certain times is definitely kind of dressed in a Team Rocket fashion.
Oh no,
Yes,
you're right.
exactly.
That's
He's wearing
why.
it's like that is actually really Team Rocket like.
That's why his costume looks so familiar to me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. He is a Team Rocket member. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's got the
Except
beret. He's got the beret and the scarf.
Yep. Oh god.
And he no. And he steals the cooking utensils of other people like the way that Team Rocket steals Pokemon.
Yeah.
It all makes
Dear
sense. now.
Lord.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
It all
I
makes
made
sense.
a
And it's black and
connection, but
red.
it's still good.
Oh my god, dude. He's fucking
Black
Team
and
Rocket.
red.
Yeah.
Noir is
Oh,
a
man.
criminal organization.
Of course. It's all come full
So
circle.
Noir
now.
is Team Rocket.
Yeah. Except without a Giovanni, so it's inferior.
Yes.
Giovanni was what, Gin Dojima all along.
Yeah.
I mean, Gin Dojima looks like Giovanni. That's funny as heck, but
This whole series is just Pokemon with food.
Oh man. Wait, so Frank, did you ever say who your best girl was?
no, we keep steamrolling him.
we got over on great tangents. I enjoyed that part. I would say my best girl would have been Alice. White hair, red eyes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There was a time where I
The
considered her.
albino.
Yeah, the sciencey one of all from all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, she's
One of the
great.
great things about one of the great things I like this show was the fact that they're like, oh yeah, and this is how it works, and blah blah blah, and they go into a whole explanation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
gastro.
Gastronomy.
At least
Yeah.
early on.
Yeah, like she actually does use gastronomy or gastronomy, however you pronounce it, to calculate how to bake, and it resulted in some really interesting dishes that she made, like the
Definitely.
curry. the curry she made during the fall elections, which was just like a bunch of like frozen swirled dashes on a plate, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Food reduction.
Yeah, I think that whole season, but especially that moment where they introduced Alice and her cooking, methods, that was kind of where the series started to really one up itself more than it did before. Like you started to feel the notches slowly rising in intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
All right.
white hair, right?
White hair.
White hair beats them all. I can't argue with that. I picked Sarge and Erina, but that's only because there's too many good choices. If I could,
Yeah.
if those two weren't around, I'd probably pick Alice as well. So.
All right, how about your waifu, Frank? Or is it going to be the same answer?
Oh no, waifu would have been Mito, just hands down.
Really?
Yeah, I liked that girl a lot. I really
She
liked
was-
her a lot.
She was no, I liked her, and I feel like they underutilized her for sure.
They did, and to me, it was always seeing her that change after the rice bowl or dawn.
Oh, the Dawn group or the Dawn Club or whatever.
Like,
No,
it is-
yeah,
Yeah, she
I-
was fully on Team Soma, so
meet
That was
Yeah.
a nice little.
I definitely
vibe
liked
to
her
for her.
introduction into the harem. I just wish it had been explored more.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I got that sick Kotobukiya figure of Mito. It's pretty
I
great.
know.
I highly
I know,
recommend
I'm
you go out and pick one up, man. It's stellar. It's
Yeah,
a very high quality figure.
I know. I was really jealous when I saw it. I'm like, you.
Bruh,
You
bruh,
son of
it's
a
like $120 figure, and I got it for $60 on a Black Friday because the comic book shop
50%?
in my town was having a 50% off everything in the store, which
Oh wow.
which was amazing because that store never has any other sales throughout the whole year. It's the only one day of the year they have sales, and I knew about the
nice.
figure, and I show up on that day and I saw it. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to score this for $60. Yeah. And oh man,
What a
dude, but it's like
steal.
I bring it to the counter and the guy at the counter looks at me and I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me.
liar.
It's for a friend. And dude just like, hey man, it's all good. I've been looking at this figure too, so good on you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, no, thanks, man.
Why would you be ashamed in a comic book store, Andrew?
Well, I mean, it's because the comic book store, for the most part, didn't have anything to do with anime. So, like, the fact they even have any anime figures kind of like they shove all the figures and manga in the very back of the store where you can't see
Yeah,
it.
it's a pretty small section too.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it was funny. It was funny. Dude's like, hey, man, it's all good. These are good figures. So,
All right, Braunsen, you're up.
All right. Favorite character would probably be Rio because I always love those explosively loud, like aggressive characters like Bakugo and obviously
Yeah.
Rio. Like
Yeah.
they're just a lot of fun.
You know he's voiced by Bakugo, right?
Yeah, probably.
wow, that's awesome.
I think that's right. Yeah.
It's like you can hear it whenever he goes into craze mode. It's like, oh my god, that's just Bakugo. It's
Yeah,
Bakugo,
so
guys.
anyone that voice actor voices, I probably like their character.
So you're just already naturally biased towards them.
Yeah, exactly. But and his crap, what's the word? His dynamic with Alice is really nice.
Uh-huh.
They just make a great duo. So yeah, Rio is definitely
You
a
just
lot
need to
of
kiss
fun.
Larry.
I mean, she owns him, so it's fine.
Dang.
It's not wrong. She does own
I
him.
mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
I like how our conversation about waifus and best girls and boys has been like at least the past 30 minutes, if not more, of this
I mean,
this
I mean,
discussion. This is
important
this
part
is
of
the
the show.
meat right here. This
I
is the
fully
sweet meat.
expected this to be the case.
this is the
Alright.
sweet meat of our conversation.
All right, best girl probably Rindo because she's
Yes.
like true
Yes.
chaotic neutral. Like it's just amazing.
My man. I have
Hell yeah.
a true companion in this path to hell.
I would
Definitely.
ask that you came to the dark side of Sarge, but I can respect the Rindo path, honestly.
The Rindo path is a better path.
It's
It's just an option.
It-
I
it's
don't
a
deny that.
path.
Yeah, you're probably
It's a
fucking
path.
right.
it's a path.
I know where I stand, but you're not wrong.
Andrew, just remember, I'm sharing the same ride with you.
Yes, yeah, no, somebody gets me. Man,
I don't.
Let's see.
well, what else? What else were we supposed to talk
Andrew,
about?
after all the things that you've been watching lately, I just don't get you.
I think I'm just trying to go for the chaos path now because I'm bored. You know, like I'm reaching that
That's fair, I
level
guess.
in my anime life cycle where I need to find new excitement. Like I gotta find
That's fair.
some tangent paths to go. I'll come back after I've been enlightened a bit more.
Chill, man.
I have to enlighten myself on ghost stories this month. Gotta binge the whole show. I've never actually watched every episode of Ghost Stories, so
There's
That's-
no need to.
Yeah,
I feel like I do. What else was on the docket?
well,
Ron
I still
hasn't
have
finished
two
his answer
characters.
yet.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Best Boy is hard to pin down because there's a lot of great characters.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably go with the grandpa Senzaemon just because he pretty much pulls in Aizen.
Yep.
I
Pull-
think that's
pull
the
the Aizen.
tipping factor for me. But he has a lot of great moments where he's like just super ripped despite his age, and it just
Oh, dude, it's so great. His
I want to
disrobing.
be him. I want to be him when I grow up. I want
yeah
to be.
exactly.
It's like when I'm that age, I want to be that fit and still be that awesome.
Yeah. Close runner-up would be Ishiki and yeah,
Shinomia.
Dojima, but
Oh, Dojima. Yeah, I can see that.
Giovanni.
Dojima's great.
Let's see. And for the final category, it'd probably have to be Megumi.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
As
that's
your
good.
waifu?
Yeah.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
She is.
I just-
She's wife material. Like just
Oh yeah,
wife.
she's yeah for sure.
I love that character archetype too. The like unconfident but actually really talented and shy.
Yeah. It's like I'm a sucker for that.
That's also why Hinata. But that's
Well, yeah.
a whole different conversation.
Well, and especially for waifu, like instead
Yeah.
of best girl for waifu, that's like that's a really good like character personality to have too.
That's
is-
like the actual pick. That's
yeah,
once again, she's got blue hair, so she's a runner-up.
she's the one who will actually love you. That's the thing.
It's like, do we deserve
She's no
that love
pink
though?
Praised. I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole.
So yeah, those are my picks.
So, something that I thought was interesting was nobody brought up Soma's dad as one of their
Oh.
like best boys. Or favorite characters.
I thought about it.
No.
It's
and
'cause
I was
he's
gonna
an
bring
asshole.
up that there was a certain point where I would have said that he was one of my favorite characters, but as the series progressed and we learned more about him,
Yeah.
I didn't like him as much.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked what we knew about him, like how like as his character got more fleshed out and deeper. I liked that about him, but then I liked him less as a person.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that nobody brought him up, and it's probably I feel like it's probably because of that.
Yeah.
That was definitely part of it.
Like you learn more things about him and you realize, oh, he's not as cool as the show made him out to be in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning he was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking cool."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's
And,
almost like a tragic hero.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the
It
whole
is kind
arc,
of tragic.
the arc on the train where they finally reveal his history with Erina's dad and Gin Dojima, it's really cool. That's a great arc, and I'll remember it very fondly. You know, that's where he learned about how his dad quit before the blue preliminaries, and just kind of went off and did his own thing.
Burnt out.
But it's for those same reasons that, you know, we see all of his failures and his fall from grace and how he just kind of leaves everything behind. that we like other characters like Soma even more, because Soma does the opposite. You know, he faces forward against all odds and picks himself back up after every failure. You know, he embodies what his dad couldn't be, and that's probably why we just don't think about his dad as much anymore.
I also
Yeah.
like the contrast between Soma and his dad, because Joichiro was a genius chef. Like he didn't even have to try, and he was just
Yeah.
good at it.
Yeah.
Whereas Soma, he got good through perseverance and just constantly facing this genius chef.
Yeah.
Who is his dad.
He had the ultimate wall to climb, and it's just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he never stopped trying.
But he wasn't himself a genius in the traditional sense of, like, he just knows how to do it. It really, his genius is never giving up. He pretty much has Asta syndrome.
Oh no. Oh
Yes,
no.
he-
Or does Asta have Soma syndrome? Which one came first?
I like to go with the latter. Asta
Like,
rips
or
off
more
every
technically,
shonen
At
series.
least the anime came out before Black Clover. I don't know when the mangas came out. That's a debate for later.
I think the
But-
manga for Shokugeki came out first.
So yeah, we'll say that Black Clover is ripping off Food Wars.
I do have another thing. As just another runner-up for favorite character, Soma's mom. I just want to say, throwing it
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
I
Yeah,
was
no,
thinking that too once
she
we got on
came
this
in at the
tangent.
last second.
Soma is
Yeah,
just
Stole
his
our
mom.
hearts.
Yeah, she was there for so little time, and I just fell in love. And not even like as a best girl or waifu kind of thing. It was more just I loved the character. It was beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
This is why Soma isn't a genius, because his mom somehow sucked at cooking.
Oh man, she
Yes.
balanced him out.
Yeah, she made him an average cook.
Thanks, mom.
Thanks, Mom.
But that's how you beat daddy issues, with mommy issues.
Well, no. Or be like Erina. You just have the best of both worlds.
Oh no!
Yeah, I guess Erina's life was pretty tragic in that regard.
Bruh, her like half brother tried to marry her in the end.
They didn't know.
Wait, so okay, I want to talk about this. What did you
No.
guys think when we were first introduced to Mana? Like, what did you guys think when we finally saw Erina's mom? Were you surprised? Like I
as
thought
the
she was
reveal?
dead. Yeah, as the reveal. Like I thought Erina's mom was like dead or
I actually,
or whatever.
as soon as they introduced the
The Bookmaster?
character of Bookmaster and Erina having her own little special thing, like I instantly put the pieces together. I'm like, that's gotta be her mom.
I didn't guess it until the episode before her actual reveal, where I was like, okay, just the outline of her hair and just the way she looks, and then the picture in the end credits of Erina with her family, I'm like, oh my god, that's her mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like once it got closer to it, I definitely was putting the pieces together. But I mean, like back
I
at the
guessed it
beginning, it
pretty
was just
early
like
on.
seeing like how the situation was. It didn't seem like to me that she had this big mommy issue in addition to her daddy issue. You know?
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
know about that. I thought her mom was. Yeah, I thought her mom was dead. So I was just like,
Yeah. In fact, for the longest time, I was like juggling the idea that Soma and Erina were half siblings.
oh,
It was
Oh.
it was like a way out there theory, but I was like,
I could see
We
that.
don't know
I mean,
about
because
her
the
mom.
father connection,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
yeah.
especially early on before you actually knew.
Yeah, this was an
his
earlier
connection
theory that
to-
I didn't
Yeah,
stick to as long. But
I
yeah,
could
like
definitely see that.
yeah, because we didn't know about either of their moms. Neither of them were there.
And
All
you
we
didn't
really
know
knew
about
was that
Erina's dad either.
we didn't know much about him either. So
When
I
they
was-
introduced, when they
You
introduced
go
her dad, my thought was, what's her mom doing at this point? And then I kind of like, well, her entire family is these higher ups in this world of cooking, so I guess she's somewhere doing something else in a version of that. And then when we finally got the thing, it was like, oh, of course, she's this person, of course.
I just assumed she was probably out of the picture.
I mean, it's anime.
It-
We just assume parents don't exist.
That's true. I mean, it would
Either
have been a
one-
nice parallel if she were dead to Soma. Like, they would have had
Mhm.
some sort of common ground.
Yeah. Like that's how they would have bonded if that was how this story was gonna write itself. It's like, yeah, I used to learn from my mom, but she's gone. His
Oh,
mom is
no.
gone too.
Erina had too much soon for that.
Oh,
Save
yeah, totally.
Martha!
Martha!
Why'd
Why
you
did
say
that
Martha?
name?
Why'd you
Well,
say
I
it?
guess it's time to bring Mom back.
Huh. Don't forget October 3rd. Except I forgot about
Oh,
October
God.
3rd.
The only reason I remembered October 3rd was because I saw memes about Mean Girls. I'm like, wait, does that mean it's Full Metal Alchemist Day? Shit.
Yeah, you sent the
What about
picture to the group chat with me and Matt and Spencer. I saw it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah, and October 3rd was also Taco Saturday.
Oh, no, it was.
Yeah, it was the same day, dude.
Okay. I'm never going to forget about October 3rd now because of Taco Saturday.
All right, we're
Bruh.
getting off track here. My next line of questioning is: have any of you attempted any of these dishes?
No.
No. Have
Okay.
you wanted to try any of these?
I've
Duh.
attempted. Well, I'll go first. I've attempted 3 of the dishes that we've seen in the show. To count them off, let's think. I believe in order, I tried making the transforming rice, which did not work. I screwed the pooch on that one. It involved making that umami gelatin that melts on the rice.
Yeah.
You have to mix it up and then spread it evenly in a cooking safe dish and then put it in the freezer for like I think an hour or something. Well, I
You
tried.
put it in the refrigerator.
Well, we put it in the freezer for like 3 hours and we took it out and it still like was not very. I think it might have hardened too much, and we tried cutting it up and putting it on the rice and it just didn't melt very fast. So. I don't know what we did wrong there, but we screwed up the gelatin, and I didn't really go back to it because I remember I spent like half a day trying to make that dish. So I'm just like, well, this looks like crap anyway, so let's just forget that. The second dish I tried making was the what is it called? It's the apple rice that Soma makes. Apple risotto. That's what it was. Yeah. I made the apple risotto with the cheese and stuff. Dude, it is awesome. Like that dish.
It is really good.
It slaps, man. You know, like it gives you that energetic boost to your day that they describe in the show. Because it has apple juice in it, has onions, it's got butter, but you don't feel bad after you eat it.
Did you see the Apple Prince?
Yes, the Apple Prince.
I felt like I became the Apple
Became
Prince.
The Apple Prince.
Oh,
Does
even
that
better.
count? No, it's great. I've made it like 4 or 5 times now, and every time I try making the risotto, it just gets better. So it's really easy to make. You just need to chop up apples and just cook rice in a pan with water and apple juice and onions. The thing I learned from the first time I made the dish was patience. It might take you a little bit longer to cook that dish than what it says in the manga or in the show, but it comes out really
And
good.
covering the pan while you're simmering the rice is also important.
Yes. You need to cover the pan so that all the heat and moisture builds up in that spot. It cooks the rice faster.
Because the first time you made it, oh my goodness, you said you took like hours upon hours trying to cook it.
It probably took me like at least 2 hours. Yeah, that sucked. But I've gotten it to a point now where I think I could feasibly make that whole dish from beginning to end in like 45 minutes. So, and the third dish that I've also made that I also did successfully was Soma's chicken. The karage wrap that he made to compete with that fried chicken restaurant in his hometown. Do you guys remember that?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Oh god, that was amazing. And it took me like 4 or 5 tries, but I got it successfully. And Drew and Trey, they got to try the chicken every time I made a batch.
Yeah, the chick was always pretty good.
Trey,
Yeah.
you said the soy sauce. You could taste the soy sauce come out of that
Yep.
chicken. So
Remember that? Yep.
yeah, that was really good. So those are the 3 dishes I've tried making. I initially wanted to try making the gotcha pork roast, but after seeing all the YouTube videos of people trying it, and it just didn't look very appetizing, actually. Like all the people who tried making in real life, it didn't look anything like the book, and I wouldn't expect it to, but
Well, and to be fair, you might as well just make a baked potato and wrap it in bacon.
right,
Which is delicious.
right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
for all that effort.
fine. It'll taste good, but it's always going to be a little less than fiction,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a video that Crunchyroll promoted where they had a couple of people come in and try making the roast, and they put a lot of effort into it, and it did look good. But after they cut it open to eat it, you can kind of see the looks on their faces where they're trying to force the excitement. They're like, "Oh, yeah, this is good. This is really good," and you're like, "Dude, I can see your faces. You're disappointed. You're disappointed. It didn't taste nearly as good as it looked like it would in the show. It's just bacon and mashed potatoes."
I didn't have a foodgasm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
my foodgasm?
And I mean, like,
the meat and juices.
meats
I
and
want my
juices. Yeah,
money
I
back.
didn't get the meat juices in there. So, yeah,
They
that's
didn't
why
get that
I didn't try.
umami.
Umami.
But yeah, that's that. Those are my takes on it, anyways.
So yeah, I think I haven't attempted many. I attempted one officially, and I was just attempting to make mapo tofu. Technically, not just a Shokugeki dish, but it's a dish that was introduced to me through Shokugeki. So I'm like, I'm gonna make mapo tofu at some point. And
Yeah.
It was good.
I made it. It's like Drew's the only one who was able to get some, but yeah, it tasted pretty good. I didn't even use all the ingredients I was planning to use because I kind of smashed together two different recipes. One was more of a traditional one, and one was related to Food Wars. So I just kind of smashed those two together to pick the ingredients and figure out what I was doing. It's like I've taken a lot of cooking techniques. That's the thing I like. Thanks to quarantine and all that, I had a lot of time just on my hands to figure out what the heck am I going to do for food, and I'm like, well, this is the perfect time to start experimenting, figuring out what techniques I can use properly in the kitchen that we have, and so I did a couple of fish cooks where I was I was kind of using that always cook skin side down technique that Soma was using when he in his first battle against Ishiki, his not real battle, but it was like, hey, I just made this quick mackerel dish. Let's see what you can do now. And so
you didn't try to cook the fish on like butter fat or whatever that Skasa did?
No. Oh no.
Is that a little beyond your
Like I'm like a low tier chef. I could probably stand fine in a professional kitchen once I've learned all the things I need to learn, but I'm broke and I don't have time to experiment so much that I can buy like fish on a regular.
That's fair.
We live in Nebraska. That's a real problem.
There are fresh fish to get in Nebraska. They're totally safe to eat.
Let's just go whale hunting too.
Wait a second.
You call me fat, Braunsen?
Yes.
I was calling the whale fat.
No.
Yes.
But so I've attempted mapo tofu, which turned out pretty well, and I've technically I've made tonkotsu a couple times. I made pork cutlets a couple times. It's like it wasn't perfect, but I got the idea from the quick battle that Soma had against Asahi at the start of season 5, where I wanted to try and make the sauces, but I was like, it's fine. I want to at least get this frying technique down.
Trey, would you call shake and bake a tonkatsu meal?
No.
But Trey, it's just, I mean, like, what is tonkatsu other than just, pork or chicken or whatever, coated in breadcrumbs and fried, or in this case, baked. Shake and bake is just the poor man's tonkatsu.
You have to fry it. Tonkatsu has to be fried, I'm pretty sure.
It's just the poor man's tonkatsu. Ain't nobody got time for that frying. Come on.
I think frying's faster than actually baking.
Maybe, but the baking's a lot easier.
I'm going to use the shake and bake now to fry some pork.
It's like the difference was I use actual panko breading, so there.
I'm sure they make a shake and bake that's got panko in it. Yeah, we're gonna make this work. We'll make it work.
I feel challenged now.
I mean, good.
I mean,
Explore
Soma
the
uses
best-
like store candy, so do what you want.
Drew, I challenge you to a Shokugeki to see who can make the best tonkatsu with shake and bake.
Not now.
Drop your shit. We're gonna go in the kitchen. No.
Oh my god, he actually
you say. A wild Drew just entered my recording room.
It's like, yeah. All right, so yeah, those were basically it. I actually wanted to try making fish with kakanotani because we had some lying around the house, but I just decided to stick with frying.
For the record, I whooped his ass in the Shokugeki just now.
Damn, that was fast.
He
had no chance.
He was using the perfect trace. So I tried, but he was cheating.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he made, I just made that much better.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, so I've only tried a couple, but there's a bunch that I want to try, and there's a YouTuber who did basically an entire review for Shokugeki. He reviewed every episode for a long time. He's an actual chef. Chef PK, he's constantly making food from anime and video games, and he's made several dishes from Food Wars. So it's like I will be using him for a resource if I ever want to go I want to try this. It's like one thing I want to try that I know I'm never going to actually be able to do is make one of those bear dishes.
Those what dishes?
Oh, dude, but bear is so hard though, because bear tastes like garbage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be the only problem.
Oh, bear dishes. Okay.
Yeah. It's like I'd probably try to make Hayama's because he literally used Cajun spices, and I'm like, oh my god, he went to Popeyes.
Talking back to Griddle God, I really want to try the bear hamburger.
What
The
did
bear burger.
Bear hamburger?
What did
Yeah.
Rindo use that baby alligator for?
Oh, yeah.
What did she use it for? Was it? No, that was the ramen fight. That was they both made ramen
Yeah,
with
that's
cayenne
right.
peppers.
That made me sad. She picks up the baby alligator and shows everybody. I'm like, no! No, it actually tries to run away. It escapes. And she has to chase after it on the cooking floor.
It tried.
That
to
solidified Rindo's best girl nature for me.
it tried to eat the announcer girl, which was great.
Oh, yeah. Back when she was having her weird, goth coming out.
She just
I don't
really
even know what to call that.
Well,
She just really liked
became
being part
Screamo
of
announcer.
evil. And then she
She was
tried
crazy.
the sweets, and then she turned good all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess her she hadn't had much glucose. So she was getting all
Oh, yeah, her blood sugar was low. That's why she was freaking out.
yeah.
You're not you when you're hungry.
She just needed a
Have a
Snickers.
Snackers.
No, nobody handed her a Snickers bar. That's the problem.
Have a Snackers.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
So Frank, have you attempted anything?
Yeah, but like you, I'm poor, so I wasn't able to get all the ingredients for most of the stuff, and it didn't make me want to think, oh, I want to try that. It kind of brought up I want to try to do more cooking, and so kind of like what you did, I did an offshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Champlain steak, the
All
Dawn
right.
episode. the Dawn episode in which they thought, okay, Champlain steak, the dicing of the onion, just steeping the steak in it.
Mhm.
I tried to make that, and it was I diced like 3 onions and had it sit for 2 hours sitting in it, and it made it so soft.
Wow. Well, there you go, guys.
But besides that, I try to get into I tried his nori, the transforming nori,
All right.
the gastronomy, the bubbles. It got me more into thinking of that stuff too.
Oh yeah,
but-
gastronomy. That stuff. It's like that's always interesting. I keep thinking about trying gastronomy, but it's like that's effort.
Yeah,
Trey,
the
you got to make that curry. You got to make the Alice curry, where it's just a bunch of different swirls on a plate. It's ice cream curry.
We're gonna need. We don't have the technology yet.
If Trey told me that he was making dinner for us, Andrew, and he was trying to make a dish from Shokugeki, and I went into the kitchen to get my plate, and it was just a bunch of swirls on the plate, I would be so sad. because it'd be like, I'm sure it tastes good. Like, I'm sure Trey did a great job, but I'm going to be hungry still. And then whatever I eat after that to fill myself up is going to be a massive letdown.
Your disappointment will be
I can see
immeasurable,
that.
and your day will be ruined.
And my day will be ruined.
Now, here's the
Yes.
thing, Drew. Trey would never do that to you because Trey's not that evil. But
Unless I...
you've
Oh, no.
just given
But
me
Andrew, on the
a
other
great
hand.
idea. And,
Oh God.
and it doesn't have to be tomorrow. Doesn't even need to be next week. But I have this idea now.
Well,
So thank you.
I at least know I'm safe for a while because that's going to take time and effort, and you're busy and lazy right now. So I feel kind of safe right now.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I will own up to that. You are right. Let's see.
All right.
And that kind of leads into, so I haven't answered on this yet, and my answer is really short. I'm busy and lazy, so I haven't tried any.
My
As
answer
much as I
is
want to.
I have not, but I have picked up some ideas on how to cook things with the show.
Yeah.
But I've never actually tried to replicate a dish. Although if I did, I'd probably need a new oven because I would blow it up to make a cake.
Okay, sorry.
Dude, if you made that work, I think I'd pay you for it. I'd just buy you a new fucking oven if it
I
actually
think I'd
worked.
probably literally die if you made it work. I think I would literally die. And it wouldn't even be when somebody told me that you did it. It would just be the universe
Yeah.
would,
Yeah.
it would
Vibration
happen
of
and it would ripple
explosion.
out, and then I would
Yeah.
just die.
That'd be perfect.
Like there are
Oh, wow,
no
it'd be
other
perfect.
there are
Braunsen
no other
wants to kill
miracles. There are no other wonders left in the world. That's it. Like once that's happened, like my life has gotten about as high as it'll ever go. I'll never see anything quite as spectacular again.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Alright.
eating with Drew one day and just
And you'll be like, he did it.
Braunsen. Call Braunsen.
We have to call Braunsen. Wouldn't it be funny if Braunsen blew up an oven to make a cake?
But it did.
Okay,
No, Andrew just has to pull that out.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
He
gonna
has to pull the curse back out.
Wouldn't it be
tangent
funny
real
if
quick.
that was Bronson's car on fire?
Your car didn't blow up; it just caught on fire. I was riding with Alex to school that day, and it was a long line of cars, and we could see smoke coming from the top, so we knew there was a fire. And I mean, it was no secret that your car, Braunsen, just was a total POS back in the day.
Wasn't that bad?
Well, clearly it was, because I
It
was
wasn't
driven
that
to say to
great.
Alex, you know what would be really funny is if Bronson's car caught on fire. And Alex like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And we're just laughing about it. And then we get to the top of the hill, and the whole school parking lot is empty, except for one lone red sedan that is just engulfed in flames and smoke. And standing like 20 feet away from the car is a lone teenage boy. And Alex leans forward and he says, is that Braunsen? I peer out the window. I'm like, oh, yeah, I think that is. And we just look at each other. And I'm like, oh, God, Braunsen's going to be so mad at me. I mean, we cooked your car that day. So, you know, we made a dish that was so good that the fire department had to come put it out.
Oh my god.
Everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
All right, guys, we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I'm gonna say let's wrap it up for now. If people want more,
any final topics?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna skip these other two topics because that'll take us to another hour. I'm just gonna ask you guys final thoughts on the series as a whole. It's over now. Both the manga and the show are over. So, final thoughts, final feelings before we wrap up.
Drew was that manga friend that nobody liked all along.
That's his final thought. Yeah, every week he'd be like, "Oh man, I can't wait till you guys get this far." The stuff in the manga, it's crazy.
I come up to Drew and be like, "Oh man, I just saw the latest episode. It's so cool. I didn't realize that Megumi was gonna beat Shinomia." And Drew's like, "Oh yeah, I remember when I read that in the manga."
But my final thoughts, so obviously we're talking about I read the manga predominantly for what I saw Shokugeki with, and I really liked the manga. There were times that some of the stuff that was going on was kind of like really crazy, or sometimes didn't make a lot of sense, but it was such a fun ride the whole time, and I was never really truly disappointed, and actually until it ended. That was really my biggest disappointment, was that it did have to end, which is kind of the case with any series. For the anime, I did feel like that somewhere around the third or fourth season, the pacing got kind of weird, where I feel like they were skipping or cramming too much into an episode, and it kind of lost the spark that it had. Because there was when I watched the first two seasons, I don't know, even if sometimes it felt like it was a little drawn out, it kind of had a charm to it, and it made it enjoyable to be like, what's going to happen? How is this cooking battle going to end? Or like if it took a whole episode to do it. Whereas once it started getting towards the end, when they were kind of rushing through to get to the end of the content, it seemed like they had like 4 or 5 major battles in one episode, and it felt like I didn't get to connect with that food battle as much. So the anime felt a little rushed towards the end, but overall, I think the series was exactly what it said it was going to be, and was a great ride the whole time.
Frank?
Yeah, when you guys first showed me, when Andrew first showed me and Kyle while we were sitting in his apartment at college, my thought was, this is going to be a really weird show. And then I kept watching, and then it was, but it never let me down. It never disappointed me, because I realized it kept adding more and more. And then the final season happened, and it was like the chainsaw, the blowing up of the oven, the literal superpowers at the end of it. I'm thinking, this is never not fun. And then I realized, oh, I'm enjoying cooking more now because of this show. So it kind of opened my eyes to doing more like that, of enjoying cooking and all that stuff. So it was always so much fun for me, this entire series. Because again, when season 2 happened, I'm like, okay, I want to see more of this. And so I found it online, and then I kept writing. And then it finally ended. I'm like, that is a very fun series. I'm glad I got to read it.
All right, Braunsen?
Yeah, overall, amazing show. Can't speak for the manga, but I assume it's just as good. It's definitely over the top and intense, even among shonen. It's like the most intense fighting anime without any fighting.
That is so true.
With JoJo references.
Yeah, it's just so unique, but like, just it owns it all. I can agree with Drew. Season 3 and 4, and even into 5 a little bit, it was very rushed. Cause as Drew mentioned, like there was the whole cramming so much content in, and I think a lot of the appeal to me in season 1 and 2 was it was almost slice of life too. Like they slowed
Yeah,
it
for sure.
down. They got to see how they all lived and all that. But season 3, the training arc, and season 4, the actual thing, it was just non-stop fights and maybe a flashback here and there to like kind of draw some character out. It had very little breathing time in those seasons.
Well, and something that
But
Andrew and I have talked about a couple of times is that, or at least when I was discussing my opinion on it, is that, yeah, it did feel like they kind of went away from that beginning. Slice of life is a great way of putting it because it was more like seeing how they did the learning and seeing what they did to go to school. And then once it
yeah,
started becoming more about the plot of like defeating Azami or defeating Asahi or whatever,
yeah,
there was less of that progression, and some of that was probably because they didn't have as much progression left to do, but some of it was just
yeah.
that they were just finishing.
And
It
there
felt
were
like
a
a
lot of
different part.
fights they had to cover, so it makes sense.
Well, and Andrew brought this
And
up earlier. There was the stuff with Megami that like after they defeated the Central, that they just like brushed over. And what they did was actually the end of season 4. They showed like a minute after the credits or something with Megami, and that was like 3 or 4 chapters, maybe even 5.
Oh no, we lost Braunsen.
Oh.
Okay, back.
Okay.
And so yeah, the having some of the stuff skipped just kind of made it so it was a little. And this is mostly just because I read the manga, so people who didn't read it wouldn't have noticed as much. But it just felt kind of like they skipped over moments that were undeserved to be skipped.
Yeah,
yeah,
it feels like there were some missed opportunities on really great parts of the manga they could have adapted into the anime. And I felt like maybe season 5 could have been a 2-core season instead of a 1-core if they hadn't tried to slam through so many of the cooking matches. And,
yeah,
I didn't read the manga for season 5, so I can't say for sure. But there were quite a few matches Soma had against Noir members where we didn't even see it. We would only see like the Noir
same with
member show
Erina.
up and then get bitch smacked away like a second later. And he
That
cleared
was
Yeah,
like
through.
the third to last episode or second to last, where
I think
they
it was like, yeah, third
literally
to last.
got to the climax fight just because, oh, I'm the best, so I win.
Yeah, like we didn't even get to see the food, we didn't even get to see the fights. So, and if
No,
that
we
wasn't
saw the tournament bracket and then the freaking protagonist progressing.
right, yeah, like if that's actually how it happened in the manga, okay, fine. But like the anime, if they had more episodes greenlit, or if they had more time to produce, they probably could have expanded upon parts like that.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like if they slowed the fights down, but at the same time, like they had done that so much in the first and second season where they intricately like go into detail about every aspect of how they cook the dish. I feel like I don't know if it would have been stale or if it would have been the same old magical like charm of the show. I'm honestly conflicted on how I would see it.
yeah,
I will
because
say that as a manga reader, I did notice that towards the end of it, the like some even though they did still do some of the same stuff, like they didn't like skip breeze over it as quite as much as they did in the anime with the cooking, that it did seem like it did kind of lose some of the charm that it had. I do remember while I was reading it, and seeing that comments in where I was reading the manga were saying similar things, where it was like, this doesn't feel quite the same as it did before, and
It doesn't feel the
maybe
same.
that's part of it is that they didn't want to dwell on it too much and make it even more stale. They just wanted to get to that final part that they were aiming for.
Yeah, I do have one final thought of season 5 as well. Um, it was let's see. Sorry, I lost my place. But season 5, I feel like they've really turned up the antagonists of the story to literal like anime villain level, where they
Yep.
had like literal like at least especially with the actual Noir leader. Asahi, like he had this anime level power where it just seemed almost too ridiculous for this show.
The
Like
cross
That is
knives.
another thing I brought up as well with
like
Andrew.
yeah, like it was his whole cross knife things where it's just exponentially increasing. It's just like sure.
Like, sure.
And so, like,
Um,
superpowers were something they had in the show from the get-go. And so it didn't seem like it was going to be as much of a thing as it was until you get to the blue and you see. And I feel like it was Asahi who definitely was the biggest perpetrator, but
Yes.
all of Noir seemed like their superpowers were kind of ridiculous compared to what we had seen before.
Yeah.
Which is fine because like that was the whole like ridiculousness of Shokugeki, so it didn't feel as out of place as it could have, but it definitely was like this is definitely like
I'm
another
glad
step.
they kind of ended it at this point, or else they would have had to like, power scale it even beyond that, and that would have been like where I would cross the line. I think if they took it any further.
Yeah, power creep is dangerous for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
so it's one of the best parts of this series is how it keeps one-upping itself and increasing the ante, but at the same time, it's also one of the worst things about the series as you get towards the end.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that you could almost say necessitates the increase in pace to the point that things get ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
And
totally agree. on all that.
I will say finally that I thought the overall conclusion to the show where they like saved Asahi, they saved the father, they saved the mother, like that whole like bringing it felt like such a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, I was satisfied too. I also am happy that I actually called it. I mean, it was pretty obvious that like
It was a joke.
Saiba
We all said it was-
Asahi was
You called it
related.
with a joke, yeah.
Yeah, it was like
I
it was
thought
supposed
they
to be a
adopted
joke.
him. I
but
thought the
he's
whole point was that they adopted him at the end.
No, it's because it's his half. That is Azami's son from a one night stand or something like that.
Is that
Yeah.
official? Because I could have
Yeah, that's
like
official.
they played it
Yeah,
off like
that's
it
official.
was they adopted him so he would
Well, they
be
did adopt him.
family-less.
So what happened was Asahi when he was oh no, my senpai boyfriend is gone. I don't know what to do with my life. He goes out and then has a one night stand, like somebody said, and that's his biological kid. Well, actually, I don't even know if it was a one night stand. He might have been with this woman for a little while, and the manga goes a little more into I think why he ended up there at that time with that woman. But then the Nakiri household adopts him to give him a family because he
Right. I guess
doesn't
I
have-
was just they weren't super clear on Azami being the father, so it
Yeah,
was that.
they allude to it very strongly in the ending of season 5, but at the same time they don't directly say it, and that's the part of the last episode of season 5 that goes so fast that it's kind of hard to keep up with all the threads that they are just immediately tying. So I could see how that would have gotten lost in context, but it's heavily implied, and I mean, like Drew said, it probably goes more into the manga that he actually is related to them.
Oh.
especially with a little slower pacing, so you don't have to get overwhelmed with information overload. Definitely helps too.
And again, it was supposed to be a joke just because he has the same weird ass pale skin and dark hair, and he's even got a similar kind of creeper vibe going on with his weird ass smile and stare in the beginning of season 5 before you.
From the beginning, he was the guy. He was not evil. Totally benevolent. You guys just didn't believe me.
He
Still was evil.
Yeah, you didn't believe me because I was lying to you.
Of course, I should
For
have
some
known.
reason, I don't know the accuracy of this, but at the end of season 4, after they do the time skip and kind of wrap up after the credits, they kind of pre-show.
Yeah, no, he
Asahi
was
coming
there.
in.
He was there.
No. I could be remembering this wrong, but I could have swore in that scene, there was like a brother or sister name drop.
Um,
I'm gonna
Maybe.
say no. But
A brother or sister name drop? I'm
Because
confused.
Like I could have swore like they that there was something alluding to their siblingness, but
Kurabaki?
or maybe that was my own thought. Like I'm like, oh, is that her brother?
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that, but
I can't
maybe.
remember. I'd have to go back.
yeah, but to give my final thoughts and to hopefully wrap up because we hit 2 hours.
Hey, it's a great series. If you listen this far into our podcast and you don't know what the heck Shokugeki is, you need to get on it because
Shame on you.
you're missing
Shame
out.
Shame on you.
You're missing out on some real good stuff.
But yes, Food Wars was truly an experience. It took over the last half of the decade for anime. It started super high and super weird. It stayed super weird. It was fantastic. It had 3 tournament arcs, guys. 3 tournament arcs.
The best that ever
just
was.
Like Super. But as Super has proven, that's not always the best.
It's not always the best, but the show had 3 tournament arcs, and I am a sucker for tournament arcs. But I will say this last season, this one could have easily just been longer because they skipped so much, and there was a freaking hint that the old 10 went to take down other Noir members. I'm like,
Yeah.
we could
Oh,
have seen
yeah.
that.
That's
We
right.
could have seen that. That could have been
Yeah.
fun.
We
They-
did not get to see it.
They didn't show it as much as I would have liked in the manga, but they did show a little bit of it in the manga, and that's some of the stuff that was skipped over.
So yeah, I will always recommend this show with the phrase of "Do not watch this in public." Don't watch this in
Yeah.
public.
I will tell them to watch it in public because
Earphones
they'll
out.
get it.
Don't
They'll get it.
no earphones.
Yep. As loud as you can.
Leave the
It's like-
Raycons at home.
Watching TV, it's normal. I'm fine. We're just watching food. Delicious food.
Volume
Delicious.
110%.
Delicious honey.
Delicious peanut butter squid.
Oh, this meat is so tender.
Yes,
Poppy.
I love Food Wars. I love the aesthetic. I love everything that this show did. I just wish they had paced the ending better, but overall, it was an all right ending. I kind of hope they make another OVA that shows the wedding. I'm always a sucker for a wedding.
They're probably not going to give us the Naruto treatment, but one can hope.
Well,
I almost
there's
prefer
not
it
going to be a
without.
wedding until she says it's delicious,
Exactly.
Right?
and she's never
And she
going.
never will.
She'll never say she loves him.
She
But
is
that's just called a civil union then.
Tsunade goddess. There, like she won't break. Sorry.
And that is why she's my waifu.
See, the basis of their relationship is him constantly making her food and her saying it's disgusting even though she's lying. We're never going to get
Yeah.
closure on this.
Exactly.
It's just like how her parents were together.
Oh, oh man! Again, just wanna put this out there. Erina has the full package. She got
Yep.
mommy issues and daddy issues, and she's even got stepbrother issues now. Oh boy!
Half
What
brother.
are you doing, step bro?
It's the full.
Well, actually, yeah,
shebang.
stepbrother and half brother.
Yes.
That's such a weird thing.
At least she does. At least she's got helpful grandpa and
Yeah.
That was her saving grace.
Yeah.
For her sake. Otherwise, she would have been a hot mess.
Yep.
emphasis
Alright.
on the mess.
She's still a hot mess, anyways.
And the hot. Emphasis
And
on
the
Yeah, and the hot.
all caps.
All caps. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight and for listening. If you enjoy what we're doing, please like and subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and comment below about your love for Food Wars and why Megumi is the best girl. From
Wait,
Emmett.
what? Wait, what?
Rindo.
Team Sarge. Team Sarge all the way.
Play more.
Bring out the chainsaws.
From Advent7, I'm Trey.
I'm the bun wizard.
I'm the hash slinging slasher.
I'm the griddle god.
And I'm the bun wizard. Oh wait, no, I'm the Subaru specialist.
Same thing.
And this one's for Soma. You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Otsumatsu.
And that should be a clear.